And we are so excited to be open here at Rhythmia. We're here in Costa Rica. It's a beautiful rainy day. My name is Paola Castro, and I'm here with beautiful Shelly. She's so kindly it's her miracle. She got her miracle. You got your miracle, right?
I did, and then some.
And then some more?
Yes, and then some more. With all kinds of extra sauces on it.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for saying yes to this interview. So we usually like to begin asking you, how did you find out about Rhythmia, and how did you feel the yes in your heart, or was it not a yes immediately, but then after it turned into a yes? So tell us a little bit about how did you find out about this place?
Mine's very interesting. I had gone into self-development about 5 years ago. I have had lots of trauma and depression, anxiety, and I did attempt suicide. Obviously, I'm still here. And I had this coach. I went to a digital detox meditation retreat, and Kyle Cease, and he was on stage, and he just started talking about an experience here. And in the minute he said ayahuasca, I was just, my heart just like, I need that. I had no idea who she was, what it was. I was like, I need that. And I didn't have a phone with me. I chose to completely disconnect. And so as soon as I got back on my phone after the week, I opened it, and another coach of mine, Lauren and Liz Love, was just talking about she was on her way here.
Wow.
And I was like, there's no way. Like twice in 1 week, it's meant for me to go here.
Right.
And then during her stay here, she was doing lives every day and, you know, really showing and being vulnerable. And I was like, for sure, T's crossed, I need to be there. And then she said, hey, I'm bringing a group. If you'd like to come, you know, I was like, you know what? This is my 40th birthday gift to myself. And I booked. And then COVID happened. And so I booked and I booked and I booked again. And as it went down, I had found friends from the lives like this, you know, talking, you know, in the messages, and found a roommate. At the end, she didn't end up coming a couple weeks, you know, it just didn't work out. I ended up coming here by myself. And I knew even then that God had a plan for me. I didn't know that I was meant to come here by myself.
That's amazing.
And the rest is history.
And here you are.
Here I am.
And I love, oh, by the way, we love Kyle Cease, and how beautiful is that you heard this message from him. But that you were supposed to come with a group, then COVID happened, and then you start, you know, trying to come. And what I'm hearing is your big yes. There was a yes that was firm.
Very firm. And what's crazy about it, I had no idea what I was even saying yes to. I just knew deep down I was saying yes to myself. And this was going to be the tip of my iceberg for my finding my happiness that I think I've always been searching for. But I knew that this was it. But I didn't know anything else about it. Nothing.
Wow, very courageous, very courageous, beautiful. And so when you got here, how did you feel that we received you? How was the transition from the airport to here? Because, you know, when you travel by yourself, you feel a little bit like, oh my God, like what am I here for? I'm in a foreign country and I don't know.
So I usually don't travel by myself. So a couple of trips I've taken by myself because I try to work on my dependency, especially on my husband I love so much. It's very hard for me to be without him and my 6 children in my presence. And so it was like I had a big fear. I'm like, I'm not just going to travel, like I'm going to another country. I had been here May of 19, but I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. I got to do it. And I got to do it. And I usually get horribly motion sick, like green, like the whole shebang of traveling. I get a little tiny bit ounce right before we landed here. And I was like, well, that was a miracle in its own. And then right before we landed, I had actually met one of my friends, which is now a family, through with the Facebook Lives. We happened to sit by each other. We were talking about it. And then somebody else is like, you guys are going to Rhythmia too? And we're like, yeah. So immediately we clicked off there, got off the plane. We all waited for each other. We stood in line.
Oh.
And, with COVID, they wanted to separate us, but they said, as long as you're, with your family. And immediately like, well, we're family. We're staying together.
Yeah.
And we got through customs. And as soon as I walked out those doors, we got separated. But as soon as I walked out those doors, our driver was there. And it was just like home immediately. I had no anxiety. I was just like, I'm so excited. And then when we got here, it was just like, this is like coming to like a family reunion, but I know nobody.
Isn't that
It was
so
just, it was
interesting?
a beautiful transition in. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shelly. So yeah, one of the miracles that happened here, besides you getting your own miracle, is the power of community. From the moment you go into the van and you meet the other people that you're going to hang out with this week, they become family.
Oh yeah.
And it's so profound. So now I'd like to ask you, Shelly, what about the studies? How were they? And you share as much as you want, because some things are very deep.
Oh yeah, and I've had so many miracles. I would be here for 1,000 hours. But I think the most important thing that I remember going in to the first ceremony was knowing that this was going to be the hardest work that I was ever going to do in my life. And once, I had my miracle. I had everything the first night that I had been waiting for my entire life happen to me. And it was so magically, beautifully a freaking mess because I had so much, trauma and memories and things that the files just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And after the first night, I was like, wow, that was rough, but I felt complete. My happiness, my joy, the love for myself. There are never words I could put on it. And then going to second ceremony, I asked and I prayed and I put the intention out there, please be gentle on me. Please be gentle on me. And she was very gentle on me the next 3 nights. And the third or the fourth ceremony, it's funny, people always say, once you get your miracle, once, you get the sign, you know what you're supposed to do with your life. And I always thought I don't know how much I believe that. And when I got mine on Thursday, I was like, I don't have no idea how this is supposed to happen. And I'm going to surrender again and let the pieces continue to fall and be patient.
Right.
It could be 10 years from now. It could be a year from now. But I've learned to be patient, which I never had an ounce of patience. And now I'm just like, okay, where's the next turn or fall and get back up? And I'm excited for that. I'm excited to come back. I'm still not super high, so I want everybody that I see or touch to come here, but I have to be patient and kind.
Right.
But I did rebook.
Okay.
I plan on coming July 10th of 2021 with my husband and whatever other brave, courageous souls want to embark in this journey again and again.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's see who is I'm sorry.
No.
Susan says, I'm so happy that my miracle is back. Yes, Susan, so great to see this again. Thank you, Kimberly. Kelly, so happy Rhythmia is back open. Can't wait to go back. Thank you so much. And then someone, there's more.
I'll say Mindy. That was my original roomie.
Oh, Mindy. I was supposed to be there with you. Will you come here, Mindy, in perfect divine timing? So proud of you, Shelly, says Lauren Ellis.
That's my coach.
Yeah.
She was here in December.
Oh, so good. I'm so happy you're there. Kindy, she did an amazing job this week. Gustavo, that's so good. I needed to hear this, says Pamela. I've had a tiny bit of anxiety about coming alone, and at the end of the month, just calm me right down. See, It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And everybody here's, I'm going to cry again. Everybody here is so welcoming. No matter Gustavo, he's my electrolyte angel. And it's even when you think you're falling apart and you can't do it anymore, you look to one of you guys And you just take that deep breath and you know you're in the most safest energy and space that you could, in my opinion, could be on this earth, besides being with yourself. And it's like I just love all of you guys. I want to take you guys all back home. Not really, you don't want to be from here, but you know what I mean.
Taking us home. Beautiful. So it just came through me. If you were to put a word, and I know it's impossible because what you go through in the ceremony is unnameable. It's beyond the words. But if we try and stretch a little bit, what would you say your first night was if you were to put one word or one feeling in the second, in the third, and the fourth?
I would definitely say the first night was absolute awakening and awareness. And I thought I had awareness before. No.
There's always more.
Yeah. And then the second night, I would say it was probably gratitude. One for myself for asking for what I wanted, which was to be kind and gentle with myself. And then I call her Mama Aya, for Mama Aya listening to my intentions and still giving me what I needed, but being gentle at the same time. The third night of ceremony, I would say another reinsurance that I was meant for everything and all my dreams. And then the fourth night, because I'll admit I wasn't even going to do the fourth night. I've been talked to all the shamans, and I started to immediately go back and start panicking because everybody was starting to project their fears, and I was absorbing all of them. And I was like, you know what? I don't like this. I'm not going to do it. And Chris said, he's like, these are other people's fears projected. I'm like, I was right. And then I can't pronounce her name, so I'm not going to butcher it. And she looked at me and she goes, then just come and don't drink. And once she said that, I was like, I'm running from my fears again. I'm not going to run from myself. And that's what I've done my entire life. I wanted healing and happiness. But as soon as I start getting close to it, I would self-sabotage and I would run from myself or make it to where other people ran from me. And so I came to ceremony and I was like, this is my proving to myself that I am no longer running from myself. And I'm going to continue to run into myself. And I did it. And that's when she showed me all the beauty that I was meant for on this earth. Like crazy things that I never even thought about. And so I'm like, and I used to get very nervous. I used to be hugely social anxiety. This I would never even think about doing. And it was like, it's just all swept away. It's gone.
Wow.
It's gone.
So beautiful. And I love that you said that at some point there's that moment where you're shedding your skin, you're having your own transformation, but there's the aspect of self that is so afraid of stepping into the next level of your own evolution. So it's so human to say no, and then we make up stories. No,
Lots
it's like
of
all these
stories.
things. But you kept saying yes, and the universe rewards commitment and courage.
Yes.
What a beautiful testimony.
Oh yeah. And it's even I'll be honest, I was the one that everybody was worried about the first ceremony, everybody that was in our family. And I don't even remember most of it. And I talking to the shamans at right before the fourth ceremony after class, and he's like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm already backpedaling. And he's like, do you know we all sat up there and how proud we were of you and how happy we were for you? And I'm like, do that in my darkness and my scariness of facing myself, I freaking got this then. To know that somebody from the outside could see so much transition and knowing that I'm worth it.
You're worth it and worthy and beautiful.
Yes. Yes. And yes.
Yes. And I love that you're just like, yeah.
And before I would never own that. I had to have huge body image. I've been heavy almost my 95% of my life. And now I'm like, this is literally just skin. Like I used to say before, this is a flesh suit. Now I'm like, no, it's really just a flesh suit.
Right.
That's it.
It's where we
That's it.
live. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little suit that
Yes.
was lended to us.
Yes. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
I care less. I
That's
care
so
less.
good. Thank you so much. So let's see if there's any more beautiful comments. Can't wait to hear all the great things you experienced. Greg Morales, do you know?
That's my husband.
Oh, yeah. Javi,
And I can't wait to get home.
Yes.
Even though, and it's weird because I always get homesick.
Mm.
Always get homesick. And that was another thing I was stressed about. And my amazing husband was like, change it. Instead of you saying, I'm afraid I'm going to, accept that you're going to get homesick and just go with it. And I was like, that was easy. Like it's instantly, I was like, oh, I got that one taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so sad to leave here. Like I don't want to leave. And then the other part of me is so excited to go home and to be with my husband and my 6 amazing kids and to hold my beautiful grandbaby. It's so crazy to want to be in 2 places at the same time, but be 100% okay with all of it.
I love that. That's true transcendence right there.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Like
Mm.
that's why like when you asked me to do this, I'm like, that I've ever experienced. Like I know anybody.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for your yes, for your determination, your commitment to yourself, and for being a beautiful testimony for all the people watching. So if she can do it, you can do it. We have the number here if you want to book your stay here with me. We're open now. A lot of people have been waiting for this moment, and
For a long time.
yeah, and we're following all the COVID protocols. We make sure that you are safe, that we are safe. But yeah,
That's you don't have to worry about any of that. Like it's very clean. It's they're on top of their stuff. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Love you too. All right, so this was our first I Got My Miracle for this new season of our lives in the world. And we will see you next Saturday with another I Got My Miracle. Goodbye, everyone. Mm-hmm.